What's up, y'all? We're here with another episode of the TEEJCAST. This time we're featuring my dude, Larion.
Peace.
He's a awesome artist, musician, producer, many things from Queens. And you can find him playing on the subway and other places with his band, the Electronic Sound Collective, ESC.
Yes, that's the government name.
That's the government name, Electronic.
Electronic. It's Electric Sound Collective, but we call ourselves ESC NYC 23 on Instagram. So yeah.
Nice, man. I noticed you guys have been playing a bunch. I think you guys started like last summer.
It was I think September, October.
Oh, nice.
We're currently in quarter two.
Cool.
Of it, so.
Right, but y'all are still kicking throughout the winter. You're playing on the trains. Have you been braving the cold, playing outside at all yet?
It's fucking brick.
Yeah.
We've definitely been out on the streets playing when it's, around 40, 50 degrees, 30 sometimes. But yeah, you'll catch us in the wintertime around the train stations and the mezzanines and stuff.
Nice, that's for the best. So what are some things you've been noticing or learning being in a collective and playing, for people on the streets? Like, what are some revelations you've had?
So there's a lot. How much time we got?
Let's start somewhere, man. We'll edit it out later.
There's so much, man. Like, people are yearning for that creative spark to either experience it or to see that there is this potential from where they are to maybe, they want to pursue dance or play guitar too. And so just seeing us there kind of bridges the gap for them, and knowing like, holy shit, you can play here? You don't need a permit? There's so many things. Like one of my favorite things is the fluoride stare. You know that?
No.
They look at you like and then like they kind of come alive when you look at them. And so it's interesting to see like the gears turning in someone's brains in a way. So
yeah, for sure. I feel like one thing we take for granted is that, New York is the capital of so many creative arts for the world, let alone the country. And just that, some people in New York may have never seen a concert like in their life or in years, let alone something of quality. So, when we're kind of putting them in that position and they're on the trains and they get to see some live music, let alone something that's improvised and interactive with the audience, it can really hit them and resonate with them because it's so different than anything they've experienced, even coming from New York.
Yeah, they get it by osmosis. I definitely say that. Like, you'll see that the children, the younger they are, the more like into it they are. Like, they start fucking dancing and like jumping up and all that stuff, and they're resonating with it because there's a new way of doing things that doesn't require you to go to a school for music or study it for 50 years and then finally be able to play your first open mic, And so it's definitely like an osmosis thing where they see it, they get inspired, and they do it. Like, we've had a few people that have been inspired and then hit us up the next day like, yo, you guys inspired us so much, like we went out and actually busked ourselves the next day.
Nice.
We've been scared of doing it for years, and you finally broke our broke that through for us. So
yeah, broke out of their shell. Sometimes seeing people break out of their shell and step out of their comfort zone, can motivate other people to do the same.
Definitely.
For sure, man. Yeah, when I busked, and I was busking with a singer who we also had on this podcast, Bumbly, during the holidays, and we be playing on the trains.
Yeah.
So it's a different experience, man, because we play like maybe one or two songs, and then it's on to the next, and it's a brand new audience of people. Rinse and repeat every 10 minutes. 5 minutes. Yeah. But what I've noticed, it's so different than playing like with a band, at a one location, because like you can have people wait for their train and watch you for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
They might miss their train and just because they like the song. But they might never donate anything, right?
Yeah.
So for us, when it's on the train, you kind of give them that quick, like, hey, we're here for 5 minutes doing a song and then we're out.
Yeah.
Bless us with a donation. You might never see us again.
Yeah, that sense of urgency.
Yeah.
To kind of be like, oh, if I don't tip them, I might never see them again.
Yeah, and then even that, when someone tips or you have a conversation with them when you're on the trains, like it's real quick,
Yeah.
But when you're really playing at one location, like you get to really connect with people a little more, and have a conversation and see if there's, can go anywhere.
Yeah, there's definitely one thing that we've seen happen is like the number that they tip reveals the state that they're in.
Mm.
So when somebody tips you $1, that's a guilt dollar
Mm.
or a few change. You know, even if they don't have much, but we see that usually $1 is like, because our band ESC is 3 people. So, you know, we're all going home with like 33 cents from that dollar,
Mm.
right? So $1 is usually like a I feel guilty for passing by you and not giving you anything. A $5 tip is like a I like what you're doing, keep doing this. And anything over 10 is you've touched me. You've
Mm.
moved me. Like we've been tipped $100 bills and 50s before
Nice.
from one person. And so it's like that kind of breaks it down because $100 is 100 people giving you ones. you
Yeah.
know? And it's really quite fascinating. Like you learn a lot busking. There's sociology, psychology, and even different things that you are able to tap into just from watching people.
Yeah.
You know, they're running to get to their location, but the music is kind of stopping them from rushing and bringing them back into the present.
Yeah.
You know,
It slows them down. Like even like when we're on the train, like we might have all these thoughts rushing in our head. Might be listening to a podcast, might be listening to some music, but to actually watch something and watch a performance, it helps you like clear your mind and just be in the moment for a second. All the trains moving by and all the people in Union Square Station, but still just be tapped into this one sound.
Yeah, and if you notice, like anybody from New York is gonna resonate with this. Like when the dancers come on and go, it's showtime, ladies and gentlemen, everybody kind of lets out a collective like fuck. But when they leave, there's different energy in the train. Like people were smiling and giving money, but in the beginning they're like, oh man. So it's very interesting to see that kind of like that evolve and that bloom.
For sure. Speaking of evolution, man, I was on the train around that time when I was busking. During the holidays, but I saw the Showtime dancers, man, and these guys it was like the best one I've ever seen. This guy did this thing where it's a trick you see often where they have the hat on their head, they toss it off, catch it with their feet, flip and toss it back up. He did that like 12 times in a row, back to back. He went whoosh, catch, whoosh, catch, did not stop, on beat with the music. I was like, God damn.
That shit is impressive.
I tipped him like 5 or something for that. And I told him, I said, yo, that was like the most consistent dance, that trick I've seen on the train, So sometimes you gotta show them some love because they be doing some flips, but man, they be working out there.
12 times ain't nothing to fuck with,
I saw this guy on the train do this crazy move I've never seen a Showtime guy do.
Yeah.
He there's like the bars like along the top.
Mm-hmm.
He like went upside down, put his shoes like in there, and like slid.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
That's a good one. That's crazy.
That's a standard on the F train.
Yeah.
They be doing that. I like to get up when they do that.
Yeah, watch. Sometimes, yeah.
Watch from afar, but it's really wonderful seeing people like do their thing, tap in, and just also busking, dancing, Showtime. That's a superfood.
Yeah.
Whether it's with on the trains, like there's a different recipe. Like playing with a band is a soup. Playing on the train is like another kind of soup. So it's interesting.
Word, man. So let's talk about a little about yourself and your musical upbringings. Like, was guitar your first instrument?
The piano was my first
Oh
instrument.
wow.
Yeah, I didn't fuck with it though.
Mm.
I was forced to play the piano, and I was playing Guitar Hero at home, and so I was always drawn to the guitar because who doesn't want to be the guy on stage with like ripping solos and having girls around him, and at the age of 10 that seemed very appealing. So I went from piano and then I went to guitar, and then from guitar that kind of started to open the doors to like bass, cello, contrabass, that's upright bass, sitar, like all these mandolin, all these other instruments, because there was a spark that was there in a way.
Yeah.
But the piano helped as well because I was able to pick up other instruments and tap into like songwriting as well with it. So
Yeah, for sure. I love the piano for songwriting.
yeah.
And what Guitar Hero were you playing at the time?
Oh, dude, my first one was Aerosmith.
Oh, that's a good
Guitar Hero
one.
Aerosmith, yeah.
I really like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started on Guitar Hero 2. I think it went like 2, 3 in Aerosmith.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
playing Rock Band at the time
Legends
too.
of Rock, yeah, the Beatles one.
I didn't play the Beatles one,
Yeah.
but I played the OG Rock Bands, like Rock Band 1, 2, 3. But yeah, a lot of those, because Rock Band really got me on drums. I had the fake drum
Interesting.
kit,
Really?
So yeah, it got me like learning the motions of playing drums. And then when I
Yeah.
actually was able to sit behind a drum set, I felt like I had, I understand some of the mechanics.
Were they accurate? Like, because I know, like,
Yeah.
as a guitar player, like, if you pick up a Guitar Hero game, like,
It's kind of more accurate than the guitar one because I mean at least, but even the Guitar Hero, like it has some of the mechanics, right? The
Right.
picking hand and just using your left hand, like that coordination between
Gotcha.
them. But on drums is a little more similar because you're actually doing a hi-hat rhythm. I remember there was a song on Rock Band that was called oh man, what's it called? It goes, wait, they don't love you like I love you, Maps. It's called Maps by the Yeah Yeah Yeahs. And it has a cool like tom pattern. It's like do 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 do.
Interesting.
And it's something you could straight up play on Rock Band, and then you go behind a drum set and you can basically do
accurate.
it.
Yeah.
So it's cool for getting the mechanics and stuff. But yeah, I mean it puts you onto a lot of classic guitar songs and just rock songs in general. Makes you feel like you're playing in front of an audience, and
Yeah.
it's good for inspiring. I remember I was in my middle school guitar class, and one of the students came up to the teacher and he was like, "Hey, does playing Guitar Hero count as practicing guitar?" He was like, "No,
Wow.
no."
It's ballsy. It's a
I was
ballsy
like,
comment.
"Yeah." And me in my head, I'm like, "I do both. I play real guitar and Guitar Hero, man. I got a leg up on these guys
Yeah, I love that.
for sure."
I love it because before Guitar Hero came out, there was this thing. I don't know if you remember. It was called like Frets on Fire,
Oh, that sounds familiar.
and you would basically he knows Frets on Fire. You would download the song you wanted to play. So back then, I was really into like Nickelback. Unpopular statement,
Nice.
but
Yeah, they were pop at the time. They had a couple hits.
they had so many haters,
Yeah.
but they were good. They were good. They had that Santana hit, Into the Night.
I don't think I know it.
The band that's like popular to hate. It's got, like,
Yeah.
That's what it is. They're still profiting though. So,
Yeah.
but you would load the song in, and you would take your keyboard and play it the same way, like the Guitar Hero, and you would use the space bar
On the
like
keyboard.
Mhm.
Whoa.
Mhm.
That sounds familiar though. Yeah.
So I went from that to Guitar Hero to guitar, and it's here.
Nice.
Here I am.
Guitar's pipeline, man. There you
That's
go.
what it is, bro.
Man, one thing I remembered I liked about Guitar Hero Aerosmith was that they had like straight up there was a mission where you're playing Walk This Way with Run DMC in
Yeah.
Moscow,
Yeah.
and that like, oh my god, that put me onto like that. It was another example of me early on how I always saw hip hop as just like just another music genre that you can mix with rock, you can mix with anything.
Yeah.
Seeing Aerosmith and Run DMC, and it was just like so seamless to me. I didn't know that when that song first came out in like the 80s, it was such a breakthrough, revolutionary thing in music. To me, playing it in like the early 2000s, it's just another song that's dope, and I'm playing guitar to it,
In the music video, they actually have the band Aerosmith like breaking through the wall. I don't know if you ever seen it.
I've seen it a long time ago. I gotta check that out again.
And they're breaking through the
Wow.
wall, and that's kind of like symbolism between the white and black music culture. And then they break through the wall and they look in and they're like, oh. And then the next scene, they're both on stage.
Nice.
But most people don't know this, but Aerosmith was very popular in the 70s, and then they kind of just disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
And then when, I think it was Rick Rubin
Yeah.
that was working with Run DMC, and he was like, well, why don't we collaborate with this. So Run DMC was actually responsible for Aerosmith's comeback.
Yeah.
And it truly is like genres or boxes. I think we were talking about this.
Mhm.
If you can get a box and create a rectangle, then
Stretch it out, man.
stretch it out, yeah.
For sure. But I think what happened too, just adding on to it, I've heard Rick Rubin talk about this in
Please.
his podcast, but just that the Walk This Way, the break at the beginning was a famous break that was used in so many hip hop songs, but people didn't know that it was an OG Aerosmith thing.
Yeah.
So he was just like, and maybe they had used it in other stuff, but he ended up using that break, and he's like, let's actually bring Aerosmith onto this. So he was said like people would hear that break and refer it to other hip hop songs, but they wouldn't know where it comes from. So I think it's interesting, man, because that's even me hearing Walk This Way as a kid. I didn't know that it came from this whole history, but I'm just enjoying it as a song between a great hip hop and rock band,
Right.
But for sure, man. Did you have any other favorite songs that you learned from Guitar Hero that you actually ended up learning on real guitar?
Yeah, I liked Paranoid by Black Sabbath.
Oh, yeah.
It was such a fun song to play. Like I remember being in the arcades and just like upstate and like playing that and like rocking it, and my parents like, yo, we gotta go, and I was like playing it till the last second. I was like, this is so fun, and then I learned it, and I was like, wow, this isn't how to play it at all. And yeah, that one I learned. The Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Who's that by?
I think it was Charlie Daniels. I could be wrong, but it's that scene in Guitar Hero 3 where you gotta literally battle the devil on guitar.
Yeah, I remember that. That's
interesting.
crazy.
And so I learned that shit when I learned that song when I was beginning to play, and I was like, that was just such an accomplishment in the beginning of days. 'Cause I was like,
Right. I think it was Guitar Hero 2 where you're playing like Freebird in Stonehenge, and then the aliens come down and abduct you, and they're rocking with you, and they like lift you up while you're playing.
soon come.
Man, that was goals. It's been goals since day one, man. Playing for the aliens.
That's it, man.
Yeah,
They be playing for us, man. Yeah, Guitar Hero is it was like a gateway drug in a way to music, and music is like an opiate. The more you do, the better you get. The better you get, the more you want to do it. And so it's like a cycle.
Yeah.
And, as you know yourself, you've been doing it for like 10, 15 plus years, professionally. So
For sure, man. It's it is like a drug, but it's there's healthy drugs out there too.
Yeah.
It's definitely a drug that just like anything, it's about your relationship to it, right? You can have a detrimental relationship to even music, it's kind of hard, but it's out there.
yeah.
But for sure. So like, when did you really start taking the guitar to the stage? Like when you were learning it?
I think it was around when I was in high school that I went to Cardozo High School, and there were so many opportunities to play like the talent shows and like the multicultural fairs and like the rock club and stuff like that. And that was my real experience. My first real experience is to like playing on the stage and like seeing the what's the word? Seeing the symbiosis between the audience and the people on stage. Like at that time, I was playing like behind my head with my teeth, doing all this like flashy things. But I think that when I got a little older, I think around 20, 21, that's when I started to actually play with feeling instead of just like gusto, right? Melodically playing. And so it was around that time.
Nice.
How about yourself? You've been doing it for
similar.
a while.
I did start playing in talent shows as a kid. I remember when I was in 5th grade is when I first started learning playing guitar, and by the end of the year, I was playing like at the school's graduation, and I was playing in the talent shows, and then I was playing the national anthem for one of their events.
Yep.
And
Good
doing all that
times.
stuff,
Good
So
times.
just kind of took it and ran with it. It sounds like you did the same thing too.
Same.
And it's cool. Like one thing I later became more appreciative of is that the public schools around me had music programs. Like, like I owe so much to that because we were paying very little, sometimes nothing, and we got a full like experience playing music.
Yeah. It's really interesting that you say that because I see that more in schools, even like when I go back to the school that I went to and like see where they are, they're upgrading. The state is seeing the value in creation and creative arts. And it's important because a lot of people in the metropolises are disconnected because they don't know how to create. They don't know that they're creators. We're all creators, right? Some people create art, some people create music, some people create fucking problems. It's all creation. So I think that the more exposure that a young person can have with music, the more fulfilling and more accountable and more involved they can be in the sequence of their lives.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Yeah, it's interesting too with like the public schools because like my school, like I felt like I had decent opportunities to learn the arts, but then when I left, I came back there a couple years after I graduated, and it was like for some other school program, and I noticed they had way more equipment, and they had cellos now and classical strings and all this other gear, and I was like, wow, they stepped it up since I left. And then even years ago now, so this is like another 10 years later, I'm hearing that, oh, they're cutting the funding and this and that. So I think it's a thing that goes up and down. Like there's periods where they're thriving and periods where they're struggling with the budget.
Sure.
But looking back on it for me as a kid, I'm like, did I catch it at a time when it was struggling or when it was thriving? I don't even know. I just appreciated having the access in any way, whether it was a little or a lot. But I made the most out of it because I had the connection to the music. So it's just a reminder. It's like it is what you make of it. You know, you could have more or less opportunities, but even a minimal one can be turned into something really fruitful if you really, choose to thrive in it.
Yeah, it's just about resourcefulness.
Yeah.
Whatever you have. I remember we were playing like 5-string guitars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it missing a string?
That's what it is, yeah. At 5-string guitars, and then I come back and they have a whole building now.
Oh, wow.
Dedicated to music production and like music recording, and I'm like, was I an impetus to this? You know, because going on to the waves, like you were there at that time for a reason, and then when you left, things got bigger, things expanded. So I really do hope that the schools acknowledge the arts programs and work with more artist educators and artivists and these kind of things as well, because our young people need to know how to create.
Yeah.
Or they will destroy.
Yeah.
So.
For sure. Now they can, if they don't see it at school, or even if they do see it at school, like, they can see people playing outside in New York. And, we live in such a creative city. But it's about just like knowing where to find it and looking out for it.
Yeah.
And, you can see so much. It's like even in New York, I think, how many people that are from here but never been to a comedy show. But it's just like the center of comedy in the world. How many people in New York never been to an opera, but it's one of the most famous like opera centers and all these things in the world, even Broadway. So it's like, it's just about knowing it's there, because we could be in the middle of America or you could be right in New York, but if you don't know where to find it, you're not going to look out for it and resonate with it.
Yeah, and that saying, every blind squirrel finds its nut eventually.
Yeah.
Like, you can find, New York is a spot with comedy here is abundant.
Yeah.
Like, you can see somebody walking, and you can walk by and see somebody yelling at a pigeon. That to me is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
You can see somebody like singing in the train station just as they're waiting for the train. So there's this micro and macro aspect that is it's there for the reaping, for the taking, for the acknowledgement of it.
Yeah.
But I didn't know we had opera like that.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we went to school at me and Pete went to LaGuardia, and Lincoln Center is right there, and that's like one of the most renowned, like, I don't know if it's opera house technically, but conservatory, like classical music. Yeah. Yeah, but even Juilliard's right there, and even some of the Broadway stuff I think has classical influence. But yeah, so many arts, right? Even dance, it's known for dance, it's known for fashion, and these are things that I don't even experience too much. But people come from all over the world to experience New York fashion.
Right. It's interesting.
Right? Yeah. Is that a theater?
Yeah, it's a dance company.
Oh, I don't think
I've
so.
heard of Alvin Ailey, but I've never seen their shows.
Nice.
Interesting.
Right.
Very interesting.
Yeah. Always something new to explore in the city, man.
Yeah. Yeah. This is that's one of the reasons why, like, when I think like I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah, I feel that too.
I'm like, but there are no other bodegas in the country.
Yeah.
Like, there's no bodegas. There's not as many things. Like, where can I get a vegan grilled cheese outside of New York?
Your own kitchen, man. That's where you got to get it.
That's what it is, man.
Yeah.
Where can I get a chicken over rice?
Yeah.
Like, this shit is hard to find.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I mean, New York, just being an artist, like, more and more, like, the things are being taxed, like that new driving tax in Manhattan. Yeah. And they said, I think this year that over 100,000 people like left New York residency in the last year, and before that it was California that had the most people leaving it. But this is and New York was second. But this is the first year New York took it over, and I kind of understand why, man. Especially being an artist, like it's hard to have a sustainable life, and especially when so much of what we do is like online and like promoting, or you get more eyes and promotion and stuff there.
Yeah.
Which is why things like playing on the train is so like, it's necessary to keep that going, because people need to experience it, the actual thing in person.
Yeah, I have a lot to say about this subject, but I'm not going to. But there's when the cost of rent per month is at, what is it at, like 3,000 now, 2,000?
I wonder what the
4,000?
average is. It's probably getting close to 2,000.
2 or
in New
3.
York, yeah.
When that is there, and you can live in a month, you can live in like Costa Rica or somewhere for like $1,000, I think it is now, a month.
Probably man. There's places
Less.
in like the South where like less than 1,000, you have like most of a house to yourself.
It becomes an opportunity cost type thing. Like,
Yeah.
what is the opportunity of living here worth the cost? Because people don't live here; they survive here.
Yeah.
And
we rent here too.
we rent, exactly. It's important to own your own shit.
Yeah.
But it's so difficult here that it becomes profitable for people that do own. And yeah, that's something that I'm currently considering. Even New Jersey or like Pennsylvania or even Long Island. I mean, to be closer to nature is to be connected.
Yeah.
Like nature around here it's good. Like you can, rats are a part of nature. Or pigeons are a part of nature. But we ain't got no grass.
Exactly. The grass, the trees, there's a couple spots where you feel like you're in the middle of nowhere, but it's hard to find.
And then even the skies. Have you noticed the skies are always cloudy on the weekends?
Yeah.
And, well, most of the time. They're cloudy on the weekends after, like, around 1 or 2 o'clock. And they're, depending on the season, like, pretty clear during the weekdays up until, like, 1 or 2. That keeps people in a perpetual cycle of confusion because they're not in the sun. They're not reconnecting. Everything comes from the sun, the food, everything is powered by the sun. And so if you're in a building all day and you're working, doing your job, and then you get outside and then the sky is cloudy, there's chemtrails all over it, all this stuff, you're not going to feel that sense of connectedness. And so you're going to continue down this spiral of like depression, anxiety. And so that's one of the main, I think, factors of why people are moving out.
Yeah.
They want to connect.
Right.
Have purpose,
Yeah, that's why I even take advantage. Like you could be in even New Jersey, Long Island, I'm thinking of, and see just clearer the stars at night. Just even being that not too far out, and you could see it. But imagine the middle of nowhere where you're really in nature. You can see way more of the stars, and you feel connected to the world, to the universe.
Yeah.
And all that. So for sure, but it's just like it makes me wonder, like, what in New York are we really staying for and paying for, and like what is it that attracts people here? And it's I think a lot of it is the culture and the accessibility.
Yeah.
And even there is more things that are secure, like like safety in some ways, and just being around more people, like but it's interesting.
It definitely is. I mean, anytime you stay or search for comfort, convenience, there's always a price.
Yeah.
So the price for being conveniently here is, walking down the street on the concrete and seeing that there's diapers and shit all over the floor. You see a crackhead pissing in the corner. I mean, that's the New York culture and aesthetic, and there's the time and place for it. But every day it's too much. Like when you can't see the stars, or you see 4 or 5 of them, it's dehumanizing in a way.
Word.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're going to check out a song by Larion. It's called Bird in the Wind. It features, full live band on it, and we'll talk about some more of the details. But for now, here's Bird in the Wind.
Produced by Why Not Show Love.
Nice. You can just click play on top.
You know I gotta give him the credit, right?
Yeah, how much though? It's still rolling?
Yep.
Cool.
Open your heart while you still can. It's a pleasure to be with you. All that was and never has been. The key is on within.
Oh, that's the part. The key is on.
I want you to understand.
Sorry.
I need you to understand.
I stopped in the studio at one point, yeah.
That was pleasant. Your presence added.
I was dropping something off.
Yeah, charger.
Before you know, you see them in your eyes, in your heart.
I listen to this song sometimes and I'm like, I still can't believe it.
I want you to understand. I need you to understand.
Thank you.
What do you need, sir?
I want you to understand.
Yeah, I think it was Dorian. His studio. He did a really good job. He did everything. Mixed and mastered, recorded. We had 2 days with him. Yep. E major on the drums, myself on the guitar and bass, and Y on the keys. Played some keys. I think E major added some as well. I'm trying to think if there's anyone else. Thank you. That art was created by SIX Negra, powerful artist. Yeah. It was a watercolor 3D actually. She created it and she scanned it. I had it for a year and I think I didn't get why I had it for a year.
She's the one who played the girl on
I want you.
This is Y's favorite part.
I want you to understand. I need you to hear me, baby. I want you to understand.
I remember we were recording this and I was like fasting. We were there for like 8 hours. And I was like, but it came out so well. If I was satiated, probably.
Sometimes be like that with food. I try not to eat either when I record. All right, so that was Bird in the Wind by Larion. We were talking a little bit about it. It's co-produced by our friend Why Not Show Love, who was also featured on this podcast, and recorded at Subdecibel Studios in Brooklyn. Artwork is by Jackie.
Yep. SIX Negra.
Yeah, it's a great, cohort of people that came together to make this song possible.
Yes. Community, definitely. This song would not have been able to manifest if it wasn't for community.
Yeah.
It was definitely a co-production. So
Nice. And I guess my first question is like, where did the whistling melody come from? Like, that is such a catchy part of the song, and I feel like such an iconic part of it.
thank you. Well, I would, before I get into the answer, I have to say all praises to the Most High because it's coming through me now, from me.
Yeah.
Funny story. I was babysitting a friend of mine's bird,
Mm.
parakeet, for about a month, and this parakeet would always whistle,
Mm.
and I would whistle back to him to kind of let him know, like, hey, I'm still here. You know, you're not alone. And so he developed my whistling to the point where I felt like comfortable whistling and like creating melodies and whistling back to him. And so when it got time to like create like a demo version in a studio in Dumbo, it just kind of came out, and I was like, holy fuck,
Mm.
this is nice. Like, it's got that western, like spaghetti western, Clint Eastwood, like Ennio Morricone sound, and Good, the Bad, and the Ugly type thing.
Mm.
And I was like, I like this. I was like, this needs to be heard. And yeah, it evolved from there.
Oh yeah, so it started with the melody.
Yeah,
Oh,
we started
cool.
with the guitar. It sounded completely different than what you just heard. Actually, it was more techno when we created the demo.
Wow.
This was more like neo folk, something like Another Box,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah,
That's awesome. Yeah, I love the. I feel like it's just if someone thinks of the song, they're gonna think of it's like the hook of the song
yeah.
in a lot of ways. On top of the, I need you to understand. But yeah, congrats on it, man. What has been the response when you perform it live? Like, what do people resonate with most, or what do you notice?
Transcendental, man. It's amazing to me how many people like resonate with it. Like, the amount of creatives that were inspired to create something from it or with
Mhm.
it. That's, I think, the biggest compliment you can get as an artist, when
Yeah.
somebody's like, I loved your work so much, it inspired me to make something of my own.
Mm.
And yeah, people love it. They resonate with it because they've never heard anything like it. Just speaking on the whistling,
Mm-hmm.
like whenever the whistle comes out, people are like, whoa.
Mm.
And I'm like, ain't nobody be whistling for you motherfuckers. And yeah, it's just overwhelmingly like positive. I like to refer to this song as like the golden key,
Mm.
because it unlocks something within the person that makes them either think, go into that space of like hypnosis, which allows them to heal things and unlock things. And it allows for the person to kind of imagine, you know. When I was recording the song, I imagined being in Utah, for example. Somebody imagined the ocean. Somebody else imagined like the mountains or the stars. And so it's fascinating to see the insight into other people's minds through the sound.
Yeah.
So
For sure, yeah. One thing I've noticed, just when I performed it with you in a couple different scenarios, like we played at Port Authority
yeah,
with the Decipher Band, but just like, yeah, the hook is such an easy phrase. I want you to understand, need you to understand, that people just sing along to it real quick,
Yeah.
and can relate to it. What do you feel like that lyric and has to do with or relates to like the whistling and the title of the song? Like, what does it mean to you?
So before I get into that, I want to say this production of the song was 12 months.
Wow.
So from me creating the demo all the way to getting the investors to putting together, the production of the list with why, 12 months. So there was a huge, huge evolution of Larion.
Mm.
The Larion that started 12 months before was not the Larion that finished.
Mm.
So there was this spiritual element of whenever I was on that path of raising money, raising funds, and putting things together, there was a bird that would visit me called the red-tailed hawk.
Mm.
So I believe they're called guaraguaos in the Taino language. Shout out to Taino Vision LLC.
Mm.
Yes, it would visit me, like, and I would see it, and this is a big bird, like this big, wingspan, 5 feet. And I would always think about it like the bird in the wind itself is that bird.
Mm.
And that bird symbolizes the spirit of a person, not the mind, not the body, but the free, expansive spirit of either the bird in the wind or just the wind itself.
Mm.
Like you can hear the wind in the beginning of the song for a reason. The ocean at the end of the song for a reason.
Mm.
So what do I want you to I want you to understand. That's basically a call to action. Because when you're saying, I want you to understand, it's basically saying, I want to understand why I'm here. I want to understand what I'm doing here. I want to understand the purpose. There is no me, there is no you, there is just we. And so it's like, when the person is singing, I want you to understand, back to me, they're singing to themselves in the mirror. And so it is a super transcendental creation of mine, and I hope I can fucking do it again. But you know, it's just something that happened on its own.
Nice.
Unfolded. So
Cool, yeah. That's how a lot of the best art gets created, man. Just like a natural process.
yeah.
You know, that's cool. You connected with nature to make the song. Looking forward to the sequel, Fish in the Water.
Fish in the head, worm in the dirt.
Yeah, or not even the water. It'd be like fish in the current or something.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's what I like about it too, with Bird in the Wind. Like, we don't think of like a bird is flying through the air and flying through the sky, but it's like the wind is like the nature that's going with the bird. So it's like they're working together.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of how I saw it. It's just like working with the nature and feeling like you're working with nature like a bird in the wind, you know. But that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, there's definitely the coexperiences of the coexistence, of the bird in the wind. Because I don't know if you've ever seen birds flying in the wind and they're just standing still.
Oh, yeah.
I always wonder, like, do they get tight? You know,
Stuck in traffic.
Yeah. Bird traffic, yeah. So I'm like, do they get mad? But they don't. They just kind of chill out there. Yeah, Bird in the Wind had the connotations were reincarnation. You know, why did you come back? What are you here for? What are you doing here? Did you choose to come back? Did you have to come back? You know, and so it's really just a conversation, an open door to exploring some questions that we don't often explore in our culture.
Yeah. It's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Cool. We'll get to the next segment. That was a good chunk, though.
Let's do it.
I did say I wanted to talk about Okay Bye just because you're featuring it. I could use it for promo for this. We'll do that, and we'll do the outro. So yeah, Larion is also featured in my new music video, Okay Bye, which you can find on YouTube and Instagram. He plays, how would you describe the role? How did you made it your own, which I wanted, but what was your experience
Some people
doing it?
described it as a cult leader.
Yeah, hippie cult leader. I like
cult
that.
leader, you know, dressed in all white. I would just say it's really just what I do with ESC, my band. I saw it as an opportunity to just busk and also just bring that flavor, you know. I look at myself and I see myself as a lemon. You know? Anything that I'm a part of, I'll put zest. But too much will fuck it up. But just the right amount will kind of bring it out. Zesty.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
Yeah.
It's like I feel like the only direction I gave you was to wear white, and you were all white, which is cool, right? I just had a white shirt, but and then to just greet me like we do in the video and just play. So for me, a big part of it was just showing how in the video I'm kind of going through it, but then I link up with you and you're just like, hey, why don't you just talk about your experience on the mic, like express it through music instead of talking to me. Let's express. And that's what I feel like a lot of busking is and improv is and music is that release, that cathartic release through just, emoting through the music.
Yeah, and in a way, it's what we do anyway.
Yeah.
You know, whether we're jamming or we're doing a gig together, it's like, hey, you've got a lot on your plate. Come on up and express yourself. The opposite of depression is expression. So come speak.
Yeah. Right, for sure. And then in the video too, it's like that busking experience. By the end of it, I'm at home writing the song that is we're playing, so it works out. And that's how I find out a lot of songs have come to me through just improvisation and kind of expressing what's going on in your soul,
Yeah, that's why I try to stay away from covers because you're explaining somebody else's situation. It may resonate, but it's not yours. So like the best things will come, as you just said, through improv. Because you're allowing yourself to be an open channel to receive it.
Yeah.
And if it's good, it'll stick. I don't usually write mine down. When I hit something that's good in improv, I don't write it down. If I remember it a week later, that means it's good. Like it sticks.
Yeah, definitely. Some of the best ideas can come like in the moment sometimes. I gotta put the voice memos on,
Yeah.
Put a camera on and just record it and try to make it your own later,
Yeah, I actually just had to buy some more storage for my phone because
Yeah.
of the voice notes.
Yeah, it'd
You
be
know.
like that. Gotta have the backups ready, man.
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, thanks again for being in the video. Shout out to Jackie, who's also featured in the video. My friend Kevin is the one on the live stream. Joshua Avalos, who did all the videography.
Yeah.
Y also had a little hand in it. We recorded the beginning part in his house.
Yeah.
So it was an awesome process, man. Thanks for being part of it.
Thank you for having me, and
Yeah.
congratulations again for the release of it. It's very well done. And even when you were like getting the polls almost for the album cover, that that you included your community. You included community, and you were receptive enough to co-create, collaborate.
Yeah, like you said, it's collaboration, it's community, and the more you can get people involved in it, the better,
Yeah, I definitely think that as you definitely know this, but it's like when you're serving the song, totally different result than when you're serving your ego or yourself.
Yeah,
Creating it,
for sure.
and people like it better because they can feel that seed that you've sowed
Mm-hmm.
in it. So thank you again for having me on board, and
Yeah. Thanks for being here on the TEEJCAST, dude. It's been another great episode. Where can the people find you at?
You can find me on Instagram, Larion Music. You can also follow my collective, ESC NYC23, coming to a bus station near you. And yeah, it's going to be a great year. It's the year of the 8, the year of the wooded dragon. And we just entered a new age, the age of Aquarius.
Hey.
So, Aquarius.
Nice.
So,
Aquarius me, I'm Aquarius.
well, Aquarius.
Yeah.
That's that Aquarius shit right there.
Oh, yeah.
I love it, though.
Nice, man. Let's get it. All right, so we're signing off. This has been another episode of the TEEJCAST. follow Larion, follow his band, check out his song Bird in the Wind, check out the Okay Bye video. You'll see him in that, and look out for what he's got coming up. So thanks for vibing with us. Signing out. Peace out.
Love y'all. Remember who you are.